Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, and particularly Christina. When it comes to delivering a speech and adhering to all the things we learn in the first 10 projects of the first manual, you ace it, you get it all right. And Christina is somebody we should emulate, because when it comes to gestures, she's got it perfectly. When it comes to vocal variety, she goes up, she goes down, she makes it interesting, she gets it perfectly right. When it comes to eye contact, she looks at everybody, just the right amount, she gets it right. So you always do a wonderful job with that, and I kind of feel like I keep repeating this, but it's true and it's important that we adhere to all these things. When it comes to a speech like this and using an advanced manual, you get a little bit more of a stronger evaluation, or maybe a more harsh evaluation, because she's an advanced speaker and she deserves that. But having said that, it's really hard to find things to ding you with or things to give you some criticism on. What I always like is, on an advanced manual, is to do a little bit of acting. And when it comes to a humorous speech, a little bit of acting goes a long way. And Christina does a fantastic job of that. The way you grab the gavel and you demonstrated it and you walk around here, it's great to put a bit of acting into the speech for a speech like this. So you did a wonderful job of that. You also personalize it. The stories are personal, so we always like to hear that. But I encourage you to use hyperbole and exaggerate stories. This is a very difficult thing to do, but you don't have to be honest. You don't have to tell true stories the way they were. Exaggerate, make things up, because that really hits home. And when it comes to humor, if you look at stand-up comedians, they often come up with bizarre stories. Do that, make up stuff. For an example, when you wore the wrong shoes and you went to your boss to tell her, what would have hit home harder and been more funny if your boss said, "Look at me, I've also got wrong shoes." Something like that. Even though it's not true, but make it up. So use hyperbole and exaggeration on a humorous speech. I did this manual myself, and I have to say this is probably the most difficult manual there is, humorous speeches. It's very difficult to write a humorous speech because it has to be original. You can't take anybody else's material. And you don't know how everyone's going to react. Everyone has a different sense of humor, so you don't know what's funny to you, what's going to be funny to someone else. So I struggled with this extremely difficult manual to do it. One other point is, when you do a humorous speech, you need to get a laugh in the first 15 to 20 seconds. And I gave the same feedback to Chuck when he went to the competition last year in the humorous speech. You've got to get people laughing right from the get-go. You cannot have this long build-up. People, you lose them. And you took about 1.5 minutes before you got a chuckle. So you need to hit the humor with a joke right at the beginning. But after that, you warmed up and you had lots of anecdotes and you had lots of humor in it, and that was perfect. What I particularly liked about your speech is you kept bringing back your title. You said, "It happened so fast, it happened so fast." And that's a good thing, because the speech is all about it happened so fast. You didn't say it too many times that it became annoying, but you repeated that, and that made it very powerful. I look forward to hearing the rest of the speeches in this manual. You've got to understand it's a really difficult manual, and I think Christina did an outstanding job on that.